Angel ascending to heaven. Oh, but it looks like it's going down to hell, to me anyways. An anonymous user on a paranormal message board insists that this is an image of an angel returning to heaven. But it looks like it's going down because it's spreading this way. Does that make sense to you guys? Yeah, it looks like it's going down because it kind of just like, yeah, that looks like it's going down. They're going to hell. It's a person going to hell, or it's a dude going, ah! Just fell off. That's really sad though if they actually fell. I hope that they're okay.
Annalise Michel, an epileptic, underwent a total of 67 Catholic exorcism sessions through a period of 10 months and died of dehydration and malnutrition. Ay ay ay. Like, at some point, when this is the image you're taking during your exorcism, you have to think, like, are we helping this person anymore? Are they benefiting from this at all? Are they getting something? Or is it just like a nightmare? Strictly a nightmare. My goodness. I've read up on this too. Like, they went like for like insanely long sessions, like totally relentless. And like the people who were performing the exorcisms like were like also like, you know, physically and mentally drained. But like the fact that this poor girl, like, instead of like getting her any other type of help, they were just like bearing down on her. Oh my goodness. The Salem UFO. Captured on the morning of July 16th, 1952, this creepy photo appears to show 4 unidentified flying objects hovering across the skies of Salem, Massachusetts. Isn't Salem known for witches, not UFOs? We'll keep going. We know that the photographer's name was Shell Alpert, that it was taken at Salem's Coast Guard Air Station, and that the objects were spotted above the Winter Island and Cat Cove areas, but little else is known about this bizarre image. Some have claimed that the lights are simply reflections in the window through which it was taken. Others point to incidents throughout the 1950s in which supposedly similar crafts were seen, but the truth will likely remain a mystery forever. Maybe not forever. We've been seeing a lot of UFOs lately, you know. The government's trying to play it off as like advanced Russian or Chinese technology, but we see those things going at like thousands and thousands of miles per hour, just phew, zinging through the sky, and everyone who sees, like pilots who see it are like, oh my god, what the hell was that? I just wish somebody could get like an HD video of one, you know? We're getting all these like radar ones and like really, you know, crappy pixelated ones. Somebody's got to get their freaking GoPro on these things, you know? GoPro 2021. Let's see it happen.
That was not the first, that wasn't the curse I was kind of expecting.
No, this is,
but this
is much worse, I think,
This is
than what
probably
I was expecting.
One of the worst things I've ever seen. And the worst thing is, like, I'm only looking at it, but I can feel it.
I think the worst part about this, like, obviously the fact that this image exists at all is the worst part, but it's the claw grip they have on the sandwich. It's like they're not holding it like a sandwich, they're like making like a weird like half fist over it. They've got their palm touching the crust.
Ugh.
Who does that?
This psychopath.
Oh, these poor guys. They didn't expect this. This is probably a guy just like reenacting his World War II like Call of Duty life. He's like, oh, I just want this to be a thing, and he didn't think anybody was gonna see him. It's his own personal hobby, but Google Maps caught it. Poor guy, poor guy. Guy in a mask. Looks like the Google car startled this guy in the middle of a leisurely gas mask stroll. Yeah. He's like, oh man, really living his life, and then all of a sudden, oh no, they can see me. His boss was like, hey Jared, is that you? I don't know why I said Jared, I think it's because he was just in here, but hey Jared, was that a you? That's my favorite hobby too, let's be friends. I hope it ended well for him.
Ruins of Dresden after World War II. Yeah, this is something that I don't think a lot of people talk about nearly as often as a lot of the other kind of like horrible things that happened during World War II, but Dresden was firebombed to absolute ash. It was like a beacon of like modern beauty and industry back then, and they weren't like really like a war city, it was just a city in Germany, and they got wiped off the face of the earth by the Allies. Like, so many dead. If you're a Kurt Vonnegut fan, which I am a big one. Like, you read a lot about that when he writes, because he was in a slaughterhouse underneath the city. The real-life Shining Hotel. Long before his stay at the Stanley Hotel in Estes Park, Colorado prompted author Stephen King to write The Shining, this Rocky Mountain lodge was leaving its visitors terrified. Seen here under construction in the early 1900s, the hotel was home to an unexplained explosion in 1911 that left a chambermaid maimed. She returned to work, but after her death years later, guests reported seeing her ghost stalk the halls, especially the scene of the incident in room 217. This was the exact room where King spent his fateful and terrifying night at the Stanley in October 1974. Yeah. I mean, a lot of scary stuff happens to inspire other scary stuff, don't you know? It's just like all sorts of old hotels, again, like unsafe working conditions that just existed back then because like all sorts of old hotels back then were in super remote areas where just all sorts of insane could happen, right? And like nobody would be there to do anything about it. You're like, it burned down, but you know, the nearest fire crew was like 200 kilometers away. Oh yeah, no, this crazy guy was there, but you know, back then crazy was seen differently, I guess. You know, people weren't helped, they were just left alone to come up with more plots to kill more people, I don't know. Karen!
Oh.
It's her!
That is probably the best way to find your suitcase.
Right, like you can never lose your luggage that way. That's ideal.
It's just right there, you found it. It's like I see my face coming on the belt. I know it's me. No one's taking my suitcase.
Do you think that luggage like watches over her children kind of thing? Like I feel like there's like an aura to that luggage. Like
yeah.
It can actually see things. It manifests things. Like if this woman ever dies, like she becomes the luggage, and right now the luggage is like waiting for that, right?
Yeah.
So it's like causing things to happen nearby.
Ooh, a bloody river. What's going on here? This is probably like an algae thing. Lago Vermelho. On a Google Maps survey in 2007, this lake appeared to be a startling blood red color according to Geek.com. If you take a look at the coordinates of this blood red lake now, it looks like a regular lake. No explanation for the strange sight was given, but Geek.com speculated slaughterhouses disposing of runoff blood may have caused a terrifying sight. I think it's more likely a case of algae, because I don't think a river would be that bright red if it was blood. I don't think so. I mean, blood's usually, I don't know, who knows? I don't know anything about blood. I haven't seen like somebody spill that much blood, so thank God, I don't ever want to see that. I feel like this is probably algae though, because like, you know, the pink lakes around the world, that's a result of some kind of algae. I feel like that's what it is. No way! There's no way they could have. If they did, I just don't want to eat meat anymore, but I love it so much.
Picture of a shell-shocked soldier in a trench who looks like he was driven to madness after seeing the death and destruction during the First World War in 1916. Yeah, this is also like a pretty classic creepypasta, right? Like this is absolutely like horrifying. The fact that it's so like fully encapsulates like the total loss of like cohesive thought in this person. It's just lost, gone. I think they made an SCP out of this one too, right? There's an SCP that focuses on this image specifically. This is another one where it's like, if you look in the eyes too long, like you're gonna see something else, right? You stare it down. The horrors of war encapsulated right here. This poor guy. Imagine, like you can see the images of all the stuff that happened, you can watch the documentaries, but if you weren't there, you're not quite getting it. The Rothschild Surrealist Ball. The elaborate masks, robes, and decorations on display at the 1972 Rothschild Surrealist Ball are unsettling enough on their own even before you consider the people behind it. Wild conspiracy theories have swirled around the Rothschilds for centuries, with believers claiming that this German banking family does everything from control the world's wealth to instigate wars for their own gain. Whether or not any such rumors are true, Baroness... Oh, how am I supposed to read that? Because all the characters have been turned into... Sounds like Eyes Wide Shut to me, right? This is Kubrickian. Maybe he was inspired by that. Yeah, I mean, like things that the Mega Rich do, like there's no way that they have like the same tastes, wants, and needs as people who are not, behind some of the most powerful and well-moneyed organizations in the world. There's no way that their brains work even close to the same as ours. Like, if you gained that money all of a sudden now, you would be nowhere near the same level of insane as some like next level old money lunatic. Just there's no comparing it. You could walk into the same place and it'd be like speaking different languages, even if you were on the same page entirely.
Oh, he's about to die.
It's a nightmare.
Yeah. He's pee bye.
Pee bye.
That sucks. And that water's dirty. What's that baby shark even doing there? It looks like a lake. How'd it get there?
Doing.
Baby shark do. You need to go back to the ocean.
You know what it is? It's this shark got stung by a jellyfish, and it's just being opportunistic. It's like, this guy's peeing. I can't pee on myself, I'm a shark.
Do you think sharks get stung by jellyfish?
I don't know. That's a good question.
A parked flying saucer? We already know. That kind of looks like a bunker. I think it's a bunker, personally. I don't even know. Just because it's a circle doesn't mean it's a flying saucer. Okay? Just because you see a frisbee in the park doesn't mean it's a flying saucer. I've heard that there's a bunch of bunkers around the world for very rich people in case things go really bad, like, I don't know, nuclear war. And they're like, oh, don't worry, I've got a whole bunch of Moet downstairs in my bunker. We'll just hide there for like 5 years. That's all you really need in life, no food, just Moet. Yeah, that's definitely either a bunker or flying saucer. If it's a flying saucer, guys, we already know. If you've watched this channel, you know. We all agree, aliens exist. They're here. We're ready for them.
The remains of the astronaut Vladimir Komarov, who fell from space, 1967. Wow. Yeah, if you showed me this without the people looking on, without the caption, I would have never guessed that once was a man. I don't even know what to say about that. Like that, just the atmospheric descent busting through. That's why, spaceships are so carefully engineered. My goodness. So he burned up in the atmosphere like a chunk of space rock. That's wild. There's anything left of him. Let's be real. Holy moly. That would be painful to fall from space and like feel your flesh singeing as you descend. The Hilo Tsunami of 1946. On April 1st, 1946, an 8.6 magnitude earthquake off the coast of the Aleutian Islands in Alaska sent shockwaves throughout the Pacific. An ocean-wide tsunami quickly began to form, causing waves to reach as high as 13 stories. Soon the tsunami struck Hilo, Hawaii, leaving more than 170 people dead in what remains one of the worst disasters in Hawaiian history. The chilling image captures the final moments of the unknown person at the bottom left. I did not see that person. Let's return to this image. Oh my goodness, yeah, they're like right there. That is seriously a final moment right there. That's just like, what do you do at that point? You see this crashing towards you, and I guess you just gotta find peace, right? They don't look like they're panicking too much. They're just looking right into it. They're going, yep, tsunami's here. I am no longer here.
Ooh. Now this is what I was expecting going into the video.
This is what I was hoping about, yeah.
Is that like, what's that film with Nicolas Cage where his face is on fire? Ghost Rider?
Ghost Rider? Looks like Ghost Rider.
Looks like Ghost Rider. Maybe this is Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage is ageless.
He is a time traveler. I've seen the pictures. Same with Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves for sure.
They're all time travelers. She doesn't seem too happy. I mean, this looks like a really sad wedding day. It looks like they're both dressed for a funeral, and then she added the veil last minute.
Oh, yeah, I'm picking up on that now. This is not a wedding photo, is it?
What? No way, that can't be real. No way. That's not real. There's no way. The Satanic Symbol in Kazakhstan. Google Maps captured this image in the Lysychovsk region of Kazakhstan. I pronounced that wrong, I know. It might look like a satanic symbol and seem a little scary, but according to Emma Yuzmanova, an archaeologist who spoke with Live Science in 2013, the pentagram is merely the outline of a park made in the form of a star. Sure it is. It's too convenient. yeah, let's make a part. Yeah, like the constructor was like, yeah, I just have a really good idea for like a star with a circle in it. It'll be really fun and inspiring for kids. Meanwhile, he holds like demons there. Likely. That's more likely. Bring your salt and iron, everyone.
Oh, it's the Rake. I love the Rake. This is like a truly like classic creepypasta image. Just the like nude white figure in the woods, in the dark, the glowing eyes looking right at you, looking at the camera. I feel like it's one of those things like if you look at it, like just look in his eyes for way too long, like you'll start to like see more, like the picture will move a little bit, or you know, you'll blink and the image will be burned into your retinas, you know? I'm gonna stare at it. Okay, 10 seconds. Everybody stare right into the Rake's eyes and see what happens. Oh, I don't know. Nothing yet, but maybe I've cursed myself. Maybe tonight he'll be sitting on the end of my bed. That'll be fun. Radium Girls. Hundreds of young girls and women who worked in American watch factories during the 1920s were exposed to so much radium that they came home glowing in the dark. Now wouldn't that be fun? The prolonged exposure to radium used in the luminous paint that coated the watch faces caused their vertebrae to collapse, their jaws to swell up and fall off, and their lives to end slowly in agony while battling cancer. That's less fun. It would be like a fun novelty to show up home glowing for a little while, but yeah, the rest of that not so great. 100 years from now, what are we gonna look back upon and be like, we probably should have been more safe while doing that? What substances are we using? What factories are people working in? What conditions are folks living in that we're gonna be like, yeah, that was pretty crazy back then. I can't believe we were just using radium like that. What's it gonna be? Well, I hope it's not something that I use all the time.
Oh, it's a bird getting electrocuted.
Are you sure? To me, it looks like Ryuk from Death Note, which you still don't know about.
No, I don't. But I did actually, the editor put it in the video,
Yeah.
so I saw what it looked
This
like.
looks like a Shinigami death god.
Actually, you know what it kind of does look like is Mothman.
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 Mothman doesn't have Mothman is a cleaner silhouette than that.
Maybe it was a bad day. I don't know.
Maybe it was maybe Mothman didn't comb his hair that morning.
Actually, yeah, kind of.
I can see that.
Or I still think it's a bird. Flew up into the wires and went.
Just Chris is, what could it be? It's a face. Broken face. Reddit users report this creepy broken face on Google Maps is somewhere off the coast of The Hague in Netherlands. It's an artsy sculpture. People like making artsy sculptures around the world and putting them random places. This reminds me of that scene in Planet of the Apes where he's like, you blew it up. That's what that reminds me of, except I don't know what that statue would be. But imagine if somebody was like actually from the past and now it's the future and you just see a random guy walking up going, you blow it up.
A mummified captain found in a ghost ship. He sailed for 7 years after death. Wow. That is Ash, this guy. I guess was he mummified by like the sea air, the salty air? I guess the ship just kind of floated out there, eh? Once you're off the radar, there's a lot of ocean that might go unexplored. The poor guy. What do you think it was? Like it was had like a heart attack and just sort of slumped over, and that was that. Sailing solo. That's dangerous, eh? Going out on a boat solo, doing anything like that, totally alone. Once you're down, you're down. It looks like you had some communications equipment, but you know, yeah, if you suffer some sort of medical emergency, you're not necessarily getting other people to come to you. The Pioneers' Defense. This creepy historical image was captured in 1937 by Russian photographer Viktor Bula. While certainly an ominous sight, the men and women depicted here were merely members of the Young Pioneers, the Soviet youth group that was akin to the Boy Scouts. They're seen here donning gas masks during a military preparation drill in the Leningrad area, uncertain of what tomorrow might bring in the years before World War II, while their home country was seeing waves of death and terror under dictator Joseph Stalin. Wow, so I was right, they were gas masks. Old school gas masks are just absolutely terrifying, don't you think? Like even the new ones are pretty bad, but like those ones, they just like, it looks like something directly out of a creepypasta. I'm sure people went and they found these pictures and like that's what influenced them to make like, you know, the creepypasta with all them in and like all the videos and things, people changing and shifting. But it's just like, it is just so inhuman. It's like far, like it's in the deepest depths of the uncanny valley where it's like, you know it's not human, but it's on a human. So it's like their face is hidden and it's like a portent of doom because, you know, gas masks should really only be used in places where you can't breathe. There's a lot going on.
Ooh, I love Grizzly Man.
I think that's a man?
Yeah, it looks like my dream man.
It's a Sam Squanch. What do you think this guy's name is?
I think it's Bruce.
I was gonna say like Ugar or something, but if you wanna say Bruce.
Bruce. When I think of Bruce, I just think of fur.
This man's got enormous hands, like so much so that he could take this woman's head and just go.
Is this a real man or a statue?
Definitely a real man.
Good, that's what I'm hoping for. Hopefully he's still alive, I'll hunt him down.
This looks like an old photo, but you never know.
Just two buddies who are meant to be friends. They go to the same place. Number 3, a glitch in the Matrix. Deja vu is a glitch in the Matrix. That happens all the time to me. It used to happen a lot when I was a kid, now not so much, which is weird. It happens when they change something. They cut the hard line. It's a trap, get out! Yeah. I don't know, I just feel like two guys shopping and now they're gonna become best friends. Like maybe the guy behind him was like, hey, nice jacket. The guy ahead goes, oh, you too. And then they become best friends. It's a story about two bros. I love that. Love a bromance. Or not. It is Pride Month.
Mademoiselle Blanche Monnier, the woman held captive by her mom and brother for 25 years. Oh, God. Oh, my goodness. Yo, she is emaciated. That is not a healthy, happy person. I've read up on this one, too. I did it for a top 5 list a while back. It's like she was seen as... what was it? She was trying to marry somebody below her station, I think, and her mother decided to hide her away forever as punishment and to keep her from doing that, I guess, and just like let her live in filth in this secret room above the home, fed her nothing but like mush for years. Absolutely horrendous way to treat your family. John Lennon and his killer. On December 8th, 1980, John Lennon signs an autograph on his way out of his New York apartment building for a fan named Mark David Chapman, who would murder the iconic musician on this very spot when he returned home just a few hours later. As Lennon made his way back into the building at about 10:50 p.m., Chapman stepped out of the shadows and forced into his back. Lennon was pronounced dead at Roosevelt Hospital some 25 minutes later. Yeah, they'll do that to you. Speaking of people who shouldn't be left alone, Mark David Chapman, everybody. Hey, God, fanaticism is crazy, eh? Like people that like become obsessed with stars and like decide that it's like their responsibility to do that. It's their destiny to do that. They must do it because it's bonkers. And what was he inspired by again? Was it Catcher in the Rye? I read that in high school. I didn't go and shoot anybody. Different strokes for different folks.
Oh, I love cults.
Oh God.
This looks like a cult I would join. We just stand around and we practice spells.
With your funky hats.
Well, no, it's not what you think. This isn't that kind of cult. We don't discriminate. We just cast spells.
What kind of spells?
Wingardium Leviosa. Wingardium Leviosa.
Leviosa.
No, we just like cast spells on the people I hate.
Sorry.
Such as you.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh.
This is the cult that's going to take you down.
I'm kind of down to float around though.
It's my Legion of Lucy.
Legion of Lucy. LOL.
Never thought about that.
It's a big joke.
What is that? It's a bridge. Is there someone on the bridge? Is it a creature? What is it? What is it? Wait, go back? Is that supposed to be a... Oh my God, I just realized that's blood! Oh my God! You see that? Like, it's just, oh my God. This image set off a media panic when a Redditor first discovered it. The red streak along this dock in the Netherlands looks like evidence of a... I hope not. But if it is, geez, internet police, come on. Catch that guy. Ugh. People are awful. We talk about a lot of awful people on this channel and Whew, makes me so mad. Like nothing makes me like just wanna. It's awful. Catch that guy, internet peeps. You know what to do. Catch him. Catch them. We don't know who it is.
Oh, ooh.
Is that a pterodactyl?
Is that a dragon? Pterodactyl. Oh, they've caught something. Look how proud they are with their guns.
They're really happy with their catch. I would be too if I caught something that had literally never been seen in the modern era. I'd be really thrilled.
I think this is real. We don't talk about this stuff. It's got to be fake.
Oh, 100%.
No, I hope it's real.
I would love it if it was real, but it doesn't fit with the rest of the photo.
It doesn't. I think they were just stood there with their guns being real proud Americans probably living in Texas.
Yeah.
And then someone put that behind them.
Costumes. I want to know when this is from. I feel like this could have happened, 2 weeks ago or 100 years ago. It's one of those things where it's like, a creepypasta enthusiast could have, got a bunch of his pals together and said, guys, we're taking a really scary picture with a bunch of really scary masks. Those teeth, eh? Look at them. You think they're made of real human teeth? Nah, they're too big. They're probably ape teeth. They found some gorillas and performed dental surgery on them and took their teeth and put them in these masks. And now they're cursed by the dead apes. You know what? Those are Donkey Kong smiles. They look like Donkey Kong's teeth. These people, they killed him. They killed my boy. Expand Dong. Look at that person's hand. I'm just noticing this now. It's like claws. Yeesh. That's not good. There's some cursed energy going on here, especially with the splotches on the paper. Somebody found this in the bedroom of their family member who ended up in a cult, and this is one of their meetings after they performed a bunch of blood sacrifices.
Yeah, no. Ooh.
There's a lot of pink flesh in this picture, and I don't like it.
There's a lot to figure out here. I assume there's some kind of chicken in a pot. That's what I am hoping.
Chicken legs.
And then there's a nude cat, which it makes me the most uncomfortable. Like furless cats, where did you come from? Who did you mate with in order to get that kind of body? That's what freaks me out. It's like you should have fur and you don't.
The Stanford prison experiment. See, I know about this one. This is a classic. Where is it? Zimbardo? Yeah, Philip Zimbardo. There we go. The Stanford prison experiment commenced on August 14, 1971 after university psychology professor Philip Zimbardo divided student volunteers into two groups comprised of 11 guards and 10 prisoners in order to see how they would behave on their own inside a fabricated prison. The goal was to assess how quickly and intensely even educated and intelligent people can turn cruel and sadistic under the right conditions, and find out once and for all whether humans are inherently good or evil. In just 6 days before the experiment had to be called off, the guards had repeatedly abused and humiliated. In just 6 days before the experiment had to be called off, the guards had repeatedly abused and humiliated the prisoners by spraying them with fire extinguishers and forcing them to clean toilet bowls with their bare hands. The study and the creepiest photos left behind provide a chilling look at what humans are capable of. Yeah, that fell down in some deep dark depths real quick now, didn't it? Although I think the actual scientific validity of this experiment has been called into question a lot, just because he was just literally no instructions other than just your guards, your prisoners, good luck, you're in there, you lock them up, do whatever. And I feel the cruelty was almost implied. It's hard to replicate an experiment like this and use it as proof that humans are inherently evil. I think maybe it's under certain structures, people will abuse power, but you know what? That might be going too far for today. Who is that? Yoshi?
Oh, I see so much here. I see a fin.
There's a fish.
I see the tail, but then I see two legs.
Yeah. This is the worst nightmare scenario between Fish Boy from House of a Thousand Corpses and the thing from The Shape of Water.
Yes.
Worst case scenario. Worst case Ontario.
Worst case Ontario. Because if you encounter something like this, you are royally It's gonna outrun you, and it's gonna outswim you.
Yep.
And it's probably good at climbing.
Yep.
It's tall. And then
Actually, it doesn't have arms. How's it gonna climb?
Oh, it's legs are its arm. Oh, true. Oh, True. Maybe it can't climb.
It kind of reminds me of like when people like take their hoodies and pull it over like their whole bodies and they're just legs, you know?
Yeah.
Reddit user Nafan shared this image of the ruins of Hiroshima, a Japanese island that has been uninhabited for nearly 40 years. Once a mining town with more than 5,000 residents, Hiroshima was abandoned in the 1970s and is now deemed unsafe for tourists to visit, even though it's the site of Javier Bardem's lair in Skyfall. Oh, cool. That's neat. Why is it abandoned though? I'd like to know. Do we know? I don't think so. If you know, let us know in the comments because that's fun. We can start a dialogue about it.
Is that?
That's from
That's Eraserhead, but grown up.
Eraserhead.
He grew up.
I've seen-
Oh, I'm so proud. Look at him. He's got his suit on. He's got his job.
Eraserhead is still one of the most disturbing movies, but it's one of my favorites.
Oh, it's so good.
I've made people I've dated watch Eraserhead so many times.
Yeah.
I think it's probably like a turn off.
Wow.
Because I remember like on a first date with a guy I used to date, we watched Eraserhead and then I think halfway through I was like, I don't think this is a good idea. I don't think this is the right move.
It's not a good first date movie.
No.
Because like the person's gonna look at that and be like,
You're
Pacific Southwest Airlines Flight 182. Here's another one that is like, yeah, that's real. It's very tragic. It's very scary to know that something like that can happen. And how it's caught just like this, sort of like above what appears to be like a home, with just a dinky little satellite up there. My goodness. Being a passenger, being a pilot, it's unimaginable, truly. Oh, sweet 16.
Oh, it's her birthday and 9/11's happening.
It's gotta be rough.
That's a bad birthday. That's really sad, but it's a devastating day. Sorry, I unfortunately don't care about your birthday. It's a sad day.
There are a bunch of stories like this where it's like things are happening and then all of a sudden, like, you know, on the TV you see this news. Mm-hmm. There's one where a guy was he thought he was getting lucky, and then they turned on the TV and it was happening.
No. What is this? No. Pigeon people. This shot was reportedly taken on a sidewalk along the Tamagawa Josui in West Tokyo, the Mary Sue reports. Thanks, Mary Sue. I don't. I love people. We're just so weird and strange. Like, we're a magical species. A bunch of people just wanting to be pigeons and standing in line. Into straight lines they walk together. Madeline? Nobody?
Chernobyl. Is this taken at Chernobyl? What is this double exposure going on here? I don't really know how to explain what I'm looking at here. Like, it looks like there's some workers, one or two. I can't tell if it's like something went wrong with the camera. Maybe it is like the radiation that's causing it to goof up. That's like a really hard to imagine situation, like that much radiation melting down. My goodness. Beck Weathers, the frozen man of Mount Everest. In May 1996, mountain climber Beck Weathers and his team attempted to complete their ascent of Mount Everest. Although they only had a small stretch to go, Weathers came down with a bad case of snow blindness. After getting stuck in a harrowing blizzard with a wind chill of 100 degrees below zero, he fell into a hypothermic coma. Frostbite set in on his nose and hands, both of which were later amputated. Miraculously, he managed to survive, walk back to camp, and be airlifted for treatment. Let me see him again. Let me get that picture one more time. Holy smokes, yeah, that is just, that's a rough way to be, don't you think? That is just, oh my goodness. I mean, if you're a mountain climber, I think you assume those risks, but just to see that happen to the human body, that is chilling, to say the least.
I can't even.
What?
It looks like
So they're
cockroaches?
Yeah, but what is that?
What's the foot?
What's the sock?
I don't know, but why are they climbing it?
Wouldn't you be like safe from
Why?
the cockroaches if that was on you?
Also, why are there so many cockroaches there? Are they planned? Did they put them there? And what-
Did these cockroaches come with the weird fuzzy sock?
It makes me uncomfortable. He's wearing another fuzzy sock on the other foot. It just doesn't
Oh,
have
but he's in a shoe. Yeah, I didn't notice that.
I don't like it. It makes me feel sick because I don't like cockroaches because when there's one, there's thousands.